Well,
Like
I mean, obviously, he wasn't strong enough to get past it. Like
Does anybody
that was
else
his
think
breaking point.
they got to Jaren because he has so much evidence of NASA lying and everything, and all of a sudden he flips? Does this make sense?
I know
Dude,
exactly.
if you would have
It doesn't
heard
make
him
sense at all.
before, if you would have heard him before, whenever this trip wasn't even scheduled, like he wasn't even knowing if he was going to go or
I
not.
met Jaren.
Just
I met
whenever
him.
he brought that up as a 24-hour not being 24-hour sun, and all the flat earthers came at him and said that doesn't mean that we're on a ball. That doesn't. And he kept saying, no, yes, it does. That's what we've been saying this whole time. So you could tell he was already starting to jump ship before he even did the thing.
Which is
Like you pay he would do like a members only thing, and during is right at that time is when he started to be like, you know what, I can make way more money being a Glover. Like he made that statement, and it was because everybody was giving him so much shit for just being honest about what he thought, and that's what I took out of it anyway. But I'm not saying like what I mean by he's not coming in here. I'm not saying that he's a pussy for not coming. I'm just stating facts. He's never been in here like talking to any of us. So I don't know. I think it's kind of weak, like to hide behind a video. You know, you're able just to sit there and not defend yourself, you know, or whatever. And what are you trying to hide? Like you're a flat earther? Like, come on. So I was just saying that nobody seems to give Witsit those props that he just comes in here, no script, just himself, and he just says what he knows. And I don't understand why people just don't want to believe that. It's crazy. He's never done anything deceptive. He's never done anything weird like Jaren has. He's been the same dude. If anybody's been paying attention, he has been the same guy on streams, 3 hours sometimes late at night. Like this guy is in it, and for nobody just to throw that off and think that he would throw all that away to just deceive everybody and tell everybody that I'm going to see a 24-hour sun and there's not one there, but I'm going to tell everybody there is. Like, dude, it's so lame and it's a waste of time. Just saying.
So it sounds like almost like you're appealing to his not authority, but to his character.
No, my experience, bro. Like, listen to
I
me.
understand
I
that.
have good discernment. I paid attention. I've listened to all of his stuff. Not one time have I ever heard any type of deception or anybody trying to lie. He's been straightforward every single video. I don't care. Somebody show me when he lied. Okay, well, you're gonna find like a snippet of where you're gonna take him out of context. Like, dude, when people are doing that, that just proves to me more that what he's saying is true, and they're trying to make you think that he's a certain way. Why would they try to make you think that he's deceptive if I mean, that's one of the things that why I believe he's on point and telling the truth. Like, I don't see why, and it's so hard for people to get away from that. Like, the evidence should show you what kind of person this guy is. And for anybody to come in,
what kind of
just
person
say
he
he
has
would
nothing
throw
to
all
do with
that away.
TFE.
Yes, it is, because you're saying that if he deceived people or he went down there and he's lying or whatever, that means you would have to take everything that he did before, and he's just risking it all, like to do what? For what purpose? It's just nothing
I
that
can't
makes
answer that.
sense. So
That's
big waste.
speculation.
It's a big waste of time. Is all I'm saying. To speculate, dude went. Like seriously, there's all the evidence out there that he went. You can go back, find the evidence if you want to find it. If you want to go back and find little snippets of when he did this or when he did that, or if he said he vaped or if he didn't, like, dude, it's so lame. Like for real, and it's so hard to listen to because it's not that you think that. I think a lot of it is they just hate Witsit for whatever reason. He makes people really upset, and I don't know what it is about him, but people just will never give him any credit, and they always will call him a liar when he's totally not. And like it's just tactics, dude. And if somebody's throwing tactics at somebody, they're doing it for a reason. It's because they don't want people telling you what's up. And so he's getting censored left and right, and like everybody on his ass when he came back, you know. And he even said, like I said, like nobody ever like when he came back, he said he knew that skepticism was going to come because it's flat earthers, but it's just like the people that have just stuck with it as if they just want to hold on to one thing that he's answered over and over and over again, but it's not enough. And it'll never be enough
Because
because there's
he
something
got
deeper.
caught lying. I can't speak for everybody, but I was a huge Witsit fan until I caught him bold-faced lying. And you can say we didn't catch him lying, but you're full of shit. He was lying, and we caught him, and he's full of shit, just like you are.
And it's so weak, dude, like just to say that because it's out there. And for anybody, if they come back and try to defend it, you're going to come back with something else. Dude, it's a tactic, bro. You're lame.
You know, you
Straight
can
up.
say that. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. You are. I'm just telling you, my person. I keep my mouth
I am
shut.
saying that you're
But
lame.
you're sitting there defending the guy that obviously got caught lying. I believe he got
No,
caught lying. I'm not. I have
it's,
no salt in the game as far as like to try to convince anyone he was lying.
yeah, but you
I
say
know
that, but
this
there's
class,
none
and
out there. You say that, and there's none out there. That's what I'm saying. You just throw it out there as if it's true.
I personally believe that I caught him lying. I believe he's a liar, and I'm never going to trust another word he says.
Who'd you
So
count?
you
Who'd you
can
catch
think
lying?
whatever you want, but he's a liar in my opinion, and that's once a
Who did you
liar,
catch
always a liar.
lying?
All right, well, hold on just for a second. He is on the server. He's also a moderator here, and he's not he's a moderator on the server. He's also not here. So in the spirit of not having this just be like slanderous and so on, Mod at Yahoo, do you want to just describe what you consider that you perceive? He's also a public figure. So, I mean, it's understandable. People are going to have opinions on anyone who's kind of more of a public figure. But do you want to describe what you thought you saw that is him lying? Just so we can just so it's not slander, at least we can hear your view.
Well, so I agree. He's not here, and I'm getting ready for work. It's double time today, so I don't really have time. Everybody knows, the vape gate, the footprints, the weird shaped suns. Yeah, everybody knows all
Which
that
he
stuff.
has explained.
I just hear this guy telling me how I'm full of shit, and how I'm treating Witsit and all this stuff, and it's like no, I was a huge Witsit fan.
I never called you a
and
piece of shit, bro. I never said that.
so, but I was a Witsit fan until the whole final experiment, and I saw him up there, and you listen to his answers. His answers are really weak. It's just So no, I don't
But
want to get into a huge argument or debate about it. I just heard this guy out there just randomly talking about basically me, and I
no, it wasn't.
disagree with what he was saying.
I was not talking about you if you're talking about me.
Well, I'm the guy that used to be the Witsit fan that isn't the Witsit fan anymore. That you were describing when
No,
you were
dude,
describing it. So.
there's tons of people like that. You're not the only one. Like this
Oh,
dude is getting
I know, I'm
attacked.
not the only one. I know you weren't just talking about me, but you were basically describing me in your description. So I just wanted to clarify that's not really how it is. And
Well, I
that
think
whole
it's
final
unfair, bro. Like all the stuff in before, like he's never showed any deception. He's never lied. He's always been upfront. Like the vape gate and all that. He's already gone through it, bro. Hours and hours. He's explained it. And it's like, dude, why won't people just accept what he said? And none of it's deceptive. None of it.
That's your
And it's like,
opinion, though, bro. That's your
no,
opinion.
that is the evidence. You
Bro,
go
that's just your
back.
opinion. When you're saying somebody's not deceptive, that's something that's
No,
specifically
you
been
guys
approved.
are bringing up deceptive things that he's doing. I'm saying that there's never been any history at all of him ever being deceptive before. So, like, why would
Before,
he
yeah.
start
You're
now?
right.
Well, he's
And
act deceptive in this chat. That's bullshit.
But
Question.
basically now you're saying why would they lie, right? Like why would they lie?
all that.
I don't know. I can't
Do
answer
you
that. I
guys
don't know
think
why.
that Witsit is lying about the 24-hour sun?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what this discussion is about.
Well, I mean, I think that though is almost a moot point. Like, make people making the whole thing about the 24-hour sun. It's like, I don't care if he went down there and said he saw a dragon or Mickey
What's
Mouse. Like,
wrong with
I don't believe
24
it.
Hour Sun? Why don't you like that? Like, what is
I know I
it
don't care
about?
about the 24 hours and the 20. I almost don't even want to talk about the 24 hours.
That's
I
not
don't
what
even
you're
care about
acting
that.
like, though. You're acting
I
like
don't
that
care about the
is.
24 hours. I'm talking about the
But,
trip though. Like the trip, I don't think it was legit. You know what I mean? And
well,
just
you
like
can
Yeah,
Homeboy
say
we
said,
that,
don't
like there's
know.
dude.
We
many,
don't know
many
where
things.
they went. That's true. We don't know where they
Exactly.
went. Well, there's no way we
I
can
just don't,
track where they actually went or where they went to.
exactly,
That's
bro. It's
true.
unfalsifiable.
So
It's unfalsifiable.
if you don't know, then don't trash the guy, for God's sake. Give him at least the benefit to like give him a chance to prove to you that he's telling the truth. Like, come on, open your brains, look at
I
it,
mean,
look at
he's
it
had a
through
lot
that
of chances,
lens.
bro. You
No, I
know,
don't think you
and
guys are looking through
it's
it in
not just
the right
him.
lens
Hey,
because you guys come up. Never
Flat.
mind, I'm done.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was
I'm
just
just saying, dude, like it's as if none of these answers to the questions of deception. They come out with him with the deception. They talk about Vapegate. He explains it perfectly. Like, and it's as if they didn't hear it at all and they don't want to accept his perfectly logical answer. Like none of it has deception in it. He's explained everything that looks deceptive. Like what? I I just don't see it. And I think it's a waste of time for people to sit here and argue over whether or not they went. Like it's just, I don't know. There should be
Did they
plenty of
go
evidence
to?
for everybody
Did
to
they go
know
to
that they
I think
did.
it's
McMurdo?
more a misunderstanding of how when air is really dry and when ice is really hard. I think many people haven't walked on that kind of ice and don't even understand it. And I think that is what created the problem. It's a misunderstanding from what is really going on. But I think it's really a mistake to say that they didn't go because that is ridiculous.
Did they go to McMurdo? Is that what they went to?
Yeah, where'd they go?
What did
Union
they go
Glacier,
to?
Union Glacier,
Union
supposedly.
Glacier. That's right.
Is Union Glacier south of Australia or Africa or where?
South America.
South of South
Of
America.
America.
Yes, they
Okay,
went to Punta Arenas and then they flew to Union Glacier from there.
Union Glacier. So that's not McMurdo.
It's not McMurdo,
No,
correct?
it's
Okay.
Dude,
further
and he had
south than
opportunity to be deceptive if he wanted to. That whole time, he could have been like, not checking in with us at all. Like he didn't have to do any of that. Like if he wanted to be deceptive, he just wouldn't have came on here. And then he'd been able to do whatever he wanted. The dude went there and he documented himself, and people see these little things and just, dude, it's crazy to just say that he just brought it up for deception. Like if he wanted to be deceptive, he wouldn't show anything. He would do what Jaren does.
How do you know that though? How do you know? You know what I mean?
That's just,
Like
dude.
now
Because
you're speculating on somebody's character that's just
no,
purely
because of
of an
dude,
opinionated
I've
nature, bro.
listened to the guy. I've listened to the guy. I listened to all the stuff, every bit of it,
Okay, I'm
because
just
it's
saying
interesting and I learned from it.
what we're arguing is unfalsifiable though, bro. There's no way either of us could definitively prove our point one way or the other.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, but you can go back and there's evidence of it. All I'm saying, not
Okay.
one bit of
What
evidence
I
you'll
want to
see
know
to show
is
deception. And
why is the 24-hour sun a problem for the flat Earth? Because there's so much we don't know.
it isn't a problem. That's what I'm
There's
saying.
so much
It's
we
not
It
a
don't know
isn't
problem
a
at all.
yet.
problem. It's a problem for the globe.
Yeah, it's not a problem one bit. It actually proves our model, two-pole model.
How is it a problem for the globe?
Well, there's no curvature, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, but doesn't the yeah
Why
that
it is a
doesn't the
problem for the
globe
globe?
predict a
Because in the
24-hour
globe
sun? So how is
model,
that?
that sun is 90-degree angled at our world, and we have a tilt. So in the summer, that sun should be 90 degrees. That pole should be tilted in the 90-degree line with that sun. So if that sun is hitting the North Pole, but when you have that 30-degree line, but when light moves around an object and it comes from the bottom up, it can't glow all around that ball.
Maybe if you could show that to me on a piece of
So
paper, something
when
like
there is light in
okay.
You have a
Antarctica,
misunderstanding of the model.
24 sun, and in the North Pole, you shouldn't have that far light in the North Hemisphere.
Chris, I think you're misunderstanding. So in the summer, there is no 90-degree angle. In the summer, in the south, there is 23.5
In the
degree
south,
angle.
while that sun is in Antarctica, that sun is 90 degrees ahead in the south hemisphere, but
No,
only rises in the north and in the south on Antarctica to a peak, but it doesn't even reach that 90 degrees. It should reach that 90 degrees just as well there.
no. On the equinox, so on 21st March and 21st September, there we have this 90-degree angle, north and south pole. In the northern summer, which means 21st June, I think, we have a 23.5 degree angle on the north to the sun.
point being-
Wait a second. Hold a second, please. While at the same time in the South Pole, you have a minus 23.5 degrees. That's why it's dark. That's why you have these so-called polar circles on 66.5 degrees, where you don't have any light in the winter on the 21st of December, January, for example, or December, I think. And this is the same on the north. So the 90 degrees is not in the summer or in the winter, it's in spring and fall.
It's at when the sun is at its highest point in the south and in the north is in the winter, that sun is at that highest point. Also in Antarctica, because it is summer there, it's not winter. That's summertime.
Yes, but it's not 90 degrees, it's 23.5.
Yeah, exactly. But in the the rest of the south hemisphere, it is rising to 90 degrees above. That couldn't happen on the globe. And on top of that, you have that anti-clockwise turning of that sun. You couldn't have that on a globe.
The 90 degrees directly ahead. I don't know. The others do know. How's this called? These two circles where the sun is directly above your head on the highest position. Anyone?
Is that a question? The zenith?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, there is these northern circle and the southern circle with this where this happened, and then you have every time in between, like the equator, for example. You have it sometimes there and sometimes on the other side.
Are you asking about the
Yeah, but
Tropic
do you
of
want-
Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn?
Yes. Thank you, Gio.
Okay.
So at that position, the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, there you have 90 degrees, not at Antarctica also. And these areas are 23.5 degrees away from the equator.
Yeah, but Antarctica is the highest point in our world.
No. Why
And
do
you
you
have
say
that
Antarctica
anti-clockwise
is the highest
turning.
point?
No, it's,
No,
If you have a sun
Antarctic
moving that's
continent.
coming in, if you have a sun coming in from the side of Australia, that light shouldn't be behaving like that. It should be going the other way around Antarctica. Because the sun is moving by us from east to west.
it's not the highest in
Then you
elevation, but
wouldn't
it
have
is
that
the
anti-clockwise turning at that point if that sun was really coming from that point.
I don't know. I don't understand your claims actually. But if you go to any simulation, I can post a web page where you can try it out yourself. All these angles. I don't say it must be a globe at the moment. I just say the globe model completely explains the 24-hour sun in the south, and the angles perfectly works out. And claiming
still
that it's a
open-minded,
problem for the globe, that doesn't work because all the simulations with the globe and with a point where the sun is exactly 100% match.
Is there something that will falsify that?
Was there a
There's
question to
something
me or?
Yeah,
I mean, I
what
mostly
falsifies
agree.
that is the anti-clockwise turning in the different hemispheres.
Yeah, it's
That is
because
what
you're on the.
falsifies the globe model.
No, that's exactly how it works on a globe because you're on the other side of the ball. So you're going clockwise if you're on the top or clockwise if you're on the bottom. It's exactly how a ball
Yeah,
works.
but that anti-clockwise and that clockwise is orientated to the east and to the west.
I mean, I think there's other issues with the globe model. Like, is the sun actually 93 million miles away? Is there curvature? Are we actually on a ball? But I actually agree with what Snooze says. I don't see any issues with the 24-hour sun explanation of the Earth being a globe. I'm not saying it is a globe, but I mean,
it's an explanation, but I mean, come on, dude. Like, just because they could, and this is kind of how I feel about the whole 93 million miles thing. Like, just because they can get the numbers to match just perfectly, so then they can throw it onto a math equation. So all the nerd scientists will go, oh yeah, there it is. There's proof. 93 million miles away. Yep.
Yeah, and they need that rotation to place both hemispheres behind each
But
other.
wait, can you let someone who actually disagrees with you also talk instead of just, having a circle jerk of flat earthers?
does anybody have a? Well, it's not the case at all. Snooze was just debating her on this thing, and I was agreeing with Snooze. Does anybody have an animation? There's a really good one which I never saved, but it shows the 24-hour sun. It might have been done in like Blender or something. Does anyone have that? The Globe guys would be more likely to have it. Does anyone have that saved? There's like one animation that shows it really clear of what the Globe just explains it to be.
Oh yeah, it was some website, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah, but when you
Where-
take out that rotation of the Earth, you don't have that sun moving by that rotation, and then that whole globe model falls in.
Well, the
What do
globe
you
is
mean?
rotating, not the sun, in their model.
I mean, the sun is also rotating, but it's an independent rotation of the rotation
but
of the Earth.
it needs that turning to get that sun on the both hemisphere passing by from east to west. Otherwise, that ain't possible.
That's 'cause
But
it's
if the
tilted.
Earth is
It's
if
the
the
tilt.
Earth is spinning from west to east, then you will see the sun moving from east to west because that's the opposite direction. That's how coordinate transformations work.
So the fact that the Earth's rotation has never been measured, what do you say to that? Where does that fall on your list of?
Yeah, you can say that if you ignore ring laser gyroscopes, and pendles and the sky, but yeah.
You ask where does that
Yeah,
fall,
but
and
when
I
you
would say this falls into the list of lies.
But when you're looking at that sun in Antarctica, it doesn't matter which direction you're looking at. That sun will still move anti-clockwise.
Yeah, that's what it looks like from the dual pole model. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. By looking at that, I don't know if you guys were here before, but Dave from New Perspective, he put out some stuff. How far back was that, Gio? 20 minutes? But anyway, he has a map. Somebody said earlier, is there a map of this that we could see? So he just posted a bunch of stuff. So did Gio. If anybody wants to go back and take a look at it. But there's a lot of stuff that, it makes sense to me. I've always thought that the sun and the moon were on some type of, like, I imagine like a train track or not a train track, a roller coaster, and that'll never change. Like their path is always circular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the
But
problem
it
with the
made
dual
sense.
pole model is model is we have a North Pole that is shifting from Alaska to Russia. We have the Bermuda Triangle, we have the Drying Triangle, and we have South America. And if you look at the 369 from 1 to 3 you have 2, and then 3, 4, 5 is again 2, 6, 7, 8 is 9. And if you look at those magnetic anomalies together with those poles, you have 2 dual poles and 1 dual pole that is a piece missing.
Have you seen it? Have you seen what he posted earlier? Were you here for that?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Like if you saw it, I think that would give you a better idea because I can't do it any justice. I mean, I could tell you what I think it looked like, but it's better if you just, I mean, if you can have the capability to
Yeah,
do
but
so, I would say.
the signatures on the Earth don't show we have a dual pole. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, like, there's information out there that kind of might be able to answer some questions you have by just seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that that helps me, but anyway,
I
I
look
think
at
it's
it
like
as an
20.
electric circuit, and if you look at an electric circuit in between 2 poles and you combine those anomalies with those poles, you see the the circuits that is looking like a 3-phase circuit that's joining at the center.
Yes, you're describing it. Like, that's what it looks like for sure. But just like anything, like Gio said before, like I'm not 100% on anything, but I am happy that this is new stuff, kind of, you know, it's coming out. And the video, that was kind of a teaser. He's got a video coming that's going to show a lot of people the 2-pole model, and it looks really interesting. I would say stay tuned for that.